from?
I don't want to tell you.
Why?
It's going to upset you.
Oh. Can I read the newspaper?
No. Have you talked to Mallory recently?
Not since I published the novel. Come on, let me see. Woman doctor parades as man. From the time she graduated as a fluffy co-ed, she has affected boyish mannerisms. Today her adventure in men's attire was brought suddenly to an end when she was recognized by a former university classmate. The masculine interns at the hospital are quite upset over the discovery and declare she successfully and completely deceived them for months.
We'll sue him for defamation and libel.
This is my fault. I was stupid.
That's not true. Well, yes, you were stupid. That part is true. But this is not your fault. You shouldn't have gone to the newspapers.
No one's going to hire me. My life is ruined. My career is ruined. Everything.
That's not true either.
No one's going to hire me. Anyone I apply to is going to find this article along with no diploma in my own name and think I'm a fraud. Who's going to hire me?
People are going to hire you because you are a good doctor. Anyone you've treated can attest to that. You can lie low for a while. Take some time to write. I can support us both, at least for a while. Then, once all this has blown over, you can go back to work.
Dr. Hart!
I don't think laying low's going to be an option. At least not here.
How long do you see yourself dressing as a man for?
Does your wife know you're a woman?
Do you have a vagina?
How is the surgery like?
Can you still have children?
Are you lying to your patients?
How can you trust a medical professional who lies about her sex?
Isn't that unethical? Don't you want children?
Can you even have children?
Leave us alone!
All right, breathe in. And out. Again, same thing. Breathe in. And out.
How dare you!
What I did was fair.
He thinks he'll never find work again.
Well, so did I when I read his stupid little book. He'll find his feet again. He's
It was
resourceful.
disrespectful. You of all people should understand.
I understand very well. And so does he. He got exactly what was coming for him.
I have never known you to be bitter before. What changed?
I ordered a copy from my parents. Because I wanted to support Alan in his writing. And they read it, and now my mom doesn't want to speak to me anymore. I was supposed to go see them next week, but my father sent me a letter saying that I shouldn't come home for a while because it will only upset my mother, and then the damage would be irreparable.
Mallory, that's horrible. I'm sorry.
Well, it's not you who should be sorry. And I mean, it is horrible, but come on, it is not unexpected. What was he thinking? Why didn't he just ask me?
He wasn't thinking. He did a foolish thing, but you shouldn't have exposed him to the press.
Well, you can tell your husband that I am not sorry. And he got exactly what's coming for him.
Ripley!
Alan! I heard about the thing with you and Mallory. It's a whole mess.
Yeah.
Right after you got married, too.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do about it?
I found a post in Huntley, Montana.
Huntley.
It's a remote little farming place. Only 400 people. No one will know me. It'll be quiet. They need doctors there because it's been hit pretty bad with influenza.
When are you moving?
2 weeks. What's that cough? Have you had it checked?
It's just a leftover from a cold I had a month or so ago.
A month? It shouldn't last that long. You should talk to your doctor about it.
I don't have insurance and doctors are expensive. So, thanks. But until I can't work from it, I'm good.
I'm gonna give you a checkup. Off the record. I won't tell the insurance companies.
I can't pay you.
You don't need to pay me. Come on.
Inez!
I'm gonna check them for tuberculosis.
Tuberculosis? That's serious, isn't it?
It can be. It's much more treatable if you catch it early on.
Sit here, please. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out.
What do I do if I have tuberculosis?
You go to Mallory. You tell him I sent you.
Have you had any fever, night sweats, chills, loss of appetite, or weight loss?
I haven't been very hungry recently, I guess.
Ripley is officially diagnosed and treated by Mallory. I take care of the hospital bills.
Newspaper stories follow me around. As soon as I'm discovered in one place, we move to the next.
We moved to Gardiner, Oregon.
We moved to Albuquerque, New Mexico, where tuberculosis is running rampant. I perform X-ray work at the sanatorium there, which becomes a passion of mine.
We moved to Eugene, Oregon. I'm tired. I want to breathe and I want to rest. I want my own career. I want to make connections, have friends. I got the job! She's got a higher head than I've had before and has a good union!
That's great news. I'm proud of you.
What's your news?
I just received a letter from Oregon State University asking me to do a series of lectures there. And they have a fantastic laboratory facility which I'm
Alan.
using. Yeah? What?
Did you hear what I said?
You got a job. I'm proud of you.
It's back in San Francisco.
Why did you apply for a job in San Francisco?
You were applying for jobs in all sorts of different places. Why should it be any different for me?
I can't go to San Francisco. I have lectures here.
I can't stay here.
Why can't you get a job here? There are sick people here.
I don't want to. I'm going to San Francisco. I've had to rebuild every time we move for you. After years of moving, of not knowing where the money is going to come from one year to the next, I'm tired. I'm leaving you.
What? But we're married. I love you.
Do you love me enough to sacrifice your career? Yeah. Me neither.
Inez, please don't go. I'll make a good home for you.
You don't take me into consideration when you make decisions that involve both of us. It's always about your lecture, your career, your novels, your research, your massive goddamn insecurities about what everyone else thinks about you. And you're too busy playing the husband whose head is
Playing
too
the
far
husband?
That's not what I meant.
Really?
Playing the husband whose head is too far up his own ass that he can't see. That his wife has a man and career of her own. I'm not going to live with you anymore. I want to go on with my own work. From now on, you may speak to me as a friend, but nothing more.
Dr. Hart! Dr. Hart? Dr. Hart!
Yes?
I wanted to have a few words with you. I'm a reporter and
I don't
heard
want
about-
to talk to reporters. I've had enough of them. Respectfully, no.
Don't you want to say your side of the story?
No one wants to hear my side of the story.
I do.
No, you don't. You want to hear about a woman who defied all the odds to become a doctor, or a shady cross-dresser who likes to trick people, neither of which you will find here.
Don't tell me what I want.
Excuse me?
Don't presume to know who I am or what I want to write about.
Okay then, tell me.
I'm a journalist for Albany Daily Democrats.
I've been asked by them before. They want to hear about a woman who
Not
defied-
by me, you haven't. I can see you're not a woman. I don't want to write about a woman. I want to write about you. A man who is a world leader in tuberculosis research and treatment.
You want to write about my research?
Yes, you and your research. It's important. Your work is going to save thousands of lives, so the more people that know about it, the better. And your path is not exactly a traditional one.
No. Thank you, but no. I don't like notoriety. I don't like the press. I'd rather just do my work in peace.
You're notorious in the press anyway. So it's up to you whether you let them talk about you behind your back or give them your side of the story. Just think about it. Here's some of my work. If you change your mind, telephone this address and look for Edna Reddick. You can meet and have lunch. It was nice to meet you, Dr. Hart.
Hello? This is Dr. Alan L. Hart speaking. I'd like to speak to Edna Reddick. A week later, a report is published on the front page of the Albany Daily Democrat.
Alan Hart explains his change to male attire. Real identity discovered and proof held. Dr. Hart specializes in tuberculosis research and treatment. He calls himself a chest doctor to avoid the stigma around the disease. He reveals to us the truth behind the recent allegations. He states,
I have never concealed anything regarding my change to men's clothing. I came back to Albany to show my friends that I am ashamed of nothing. I had an operation, and I pursued a career as a physician.
he says,
I have been happier since I made this change than I ever have in my life, and I intend to continue this way as long as I live.
growing up, he refused to do women's chores like cooking or sewing, and he preferred doing men's chores like milking cows or learning how to drive. He always knew he was different from the other children, but he was strong and healthy, so he never gave it much thought. In response to the recent allegations that Hart is a woman masquerading as a man, he says,
Since it is out, the best thing to do is tell the facts as they are. I was raised as a girl, but have recently discovered that the fundamental parts of me are male, not female. I have undertaken remedying this error by wearing men's clothing, in accordance with my nature.
most men go from being a boy to being a man. Dr. Hart just had an extra step.
Alan's here.
Alan?
Mallory? Inez? Ripley?
Finally decided to show up, huh?
I'm sorry it took so long. I came as soon as I heard.
It's alright. I'm still here. Just about. Where did he come from?
Eugene. It was Montana until the crash, but then people couldn't afford to be sick anymore.
Go figure.
Then Inez and I split up, and I moved around a bunch and ended up back in Eugene.
Heard about that. It's kind of nice to be all back together again.
I missed you.
If you hadn't given me that checkup, I would have lasted a few months of that. So thank you. And the past 2 years with Inez have been the best of my life. So thank you for that too.
Grow old with me, Ripley.
I would love to.
Couldn't either of you have done something? If Alan hadn't left, maybe they would still be here.
I did what I could.
I'll go. Hi.
Hi.
I wanted to say thank you. You wrote about me the way I wanted to be written about. Your article, it means a lot to me.
You're welcome. It was my pleasure.
I was wondering if you would take a look at a research paper I'm working on. It's about the early stages of tuberculosis and the
I don't mind at
prevention of
all. If you'll have a look at this article I wrote for the science section and make sure there are no inaccuracies. I have time right now. Do you have it with you?
Yes, it's here.
Perfect, let me see. If you're free right now, we could work on it together, and if not...
I have time now. Do you always walk around when you read?
Not always, but moving helps me think.
Huh.
Why? Does it bother you?
Not at all. I was just curious.
Huh.
You're not quite like anyone I've ever met.
Are you trying to flirt with me, Dr. Hart?
No, it was a remark, that's all.
You know, I wouldn't mind if you were trying to flirt with me.
Well, there is nothing to mind at all because I am not trying to flirt with you. Even though I might have wanted to. It's not a good idea. Things keep going wrong. I wouldn't want to add this to the list.
Things keep going wrong?
I've been hounded by the press, my wife left me, and my friend just died, so things aren't going great.
You also just made a major scientific breakthrough. Your luck might be turning around.
What time is it?
It's 5 in the morning.
You're still working?
I don't want to lose my train of thought.
I'm sorry for falling asleep while you were still working. I didn't mean to.
No, not at all. Sleep is important. I have your manuscript here. I've made some notes.
Thank you. I made some notes on yours too. Is there anything else I can help you with?
No. Yes, actually, there's some laundry that needs folding. Would you mind?
Folding laundry? I don't mind at all. Will you get some sleep soon?
I will once I don't know what to write about anymore.
How long will that be?
Well, pretty soon if you keep interrupting me.
Okay. Where's the laundry?
Oh, it's in the other room. You'll find where everything goes pretty easily, I think.
I have been living as a man for 32 years. Researchers recently discovered a process for synthesizing testosterone. I start taking it, and I'm finally able to grow a beard and shave. My voice changes. I work as a medical advisor during the Second World War. I watch boys go off to war the same as they did 30 years ago. I only have a little regret now that I'm not able to go with them.
Alan, there's a letter for you.
Would you open it?
It's an invitation to give a speech to graduating medical
A
students.
speech.
Do you want to do it?
There's a reason I always turn down lecturing. I'm no good at public speaking, and I hate my voice.
Your voice has changed in the last few months.
Do you think it's changed enough?
Well, you're not cracking like a high schooler anymore.
Excuse me. I was cracking like a distinguished gentleman.
You are a distinguished gentleman. And your voice is deep. Do the lecture.
Good evening, doctors. Excuse me if I am a little nervous. I am shy, and it has been 20 years since I last spoke publicly.
Perhaps you recall the convoy. You probably deserve the name. You played it Barnyard, Soldier, Doctor, Cowboy. Never a dollhouse game.
You like to ride the horses, galloping across the field. That little toy gun your grandfather made, just for you to wield.
You passed whole hours of delight, making things that will never go. With woods and springs and metal bits, you never would learn to sew.
I often wonder where that boy had gone, and who was there, staring back with the same eyes, and the same, if longer, hair.
I long for who I was back then, my flat-chested ambiguity. The way I looked and dressed and felt was the closest I knew to congruity.
You love your friends in life and death. You dearly miss your mother.
I no longer long for who I was, nor do I wish to be another. Thank you very, very much for coming. This is our last show here. After this show, we all split up and go various ways on the planet. Before you leave, I would like to say a couple of things. First of all, this is a play I was inspired to write from a true story of Dr. Alan L. Hart, who was the first American transgender man to undergo gender-affirming surgery in 1918. And he also made massive contributions to tuberculosis research, without which tuberculosis would have had a vastly more casualties than it did. So he's a pretty cool guy. I would also like to say thank you to our director, Rin, who could not be with us because of visa issues, so they had to stay in France. And a massive thank you to all of our cast, including especially my son, because most of these costumes that you see are brought by her. And a period piece is a pretty expensive thing to do if we do not have my son. So thank you very, very much. And thank you all for coming. Have a lovely, lovely day.
Thank you.